Hi YouTube. So I wanted to make a video about something that happened to me in my life, and I figured that other people were dealing with it, and maybe I can help somebody. Anything, as long as I can help one person, I feel like I did what I was supposed to do. So I wanted to talk about when I was dealing with ulcerative colitis. If you don't know what ulcerative colitis is, it is a disease of the colon. Your colon is your large intestines that holds your bowels. Ulcerative colitis is when your colon becomes inflamed. It has ulcers on it. You can experience, like me, I experienced rectal bleeding whenever I would try to use the bathroom, and loss of appetite, fatigue. It was bad. I was tired all the time. I couldn't eat. When I did use the bathroom, it was blood. It's severe stomach pain, like excruciating pain, to the point where I remember I was riding in the car with my friend, and it's like it just hit me, and it's like I buckled down in the floor. Like, it's nothing that takes away that pain, and it's really no way to describe it. It's horrible. I've never felt anything that bad in my life ever. But that's basically what it is. It's just ulcers on the colon and your colon becoming inflamed. I was diagnosed with ulcerative colitis, or UC, or colitis, whatever you want to call it. I was diagnosed in June of 2010. I had been dealing with something for a long time, but because it was, it's something you don't want to just tell people, go up to people and say, my stomach is hurting so bad, or I'm constantly using the bathroom, or I'm bleeding out of my butt. I didn't want to tell anybody that. I was young, and it's embarrassing. And the only reason it got out was because it became unbearable, and I let it get out of control. It's kind of hard to talk about, guys. It's emotional for me because it was bad. I didn't talk about it to anybody, and it's like my mom, she kept saying that, Danielle, what's going on? Like, you don't look good. Something is wrong. And I was just like, oh, it's nothing. And I was just lying about it, basically, until eventually I couldn't handle it anymore. I couldn't handle it. I couldn't eat. I couldn't hold food down. I was weak. I was small. I've never been skinny, and I was extremely small. And anybody could look at me and tell I was sick. It was no hiding it anymore. It had got out of control. So one night, my mom, she got up, and she rushed me to the emergency room because I had started throwing up and all of that stuff. And we went to our local emergency room, and they told me that nothing was wrong with me, that I had a urinary tract infection. What? A urinary tract infection? Like, nothing was wrong in this area. Like, it was nothing. It was all my stomach. And so they gave me antibiotics. I knew that it couldn't have been that. My mom knew it couldn't have been that. So I took my pills, and it didn't help. It didn't help at all. So we then went back to that same emergency room, and then they ran a pregnancy test on me, and they gave me more antibiotics, saying that they basically were saying nothing was wrong with me, and I probably just had some type of infection. I didn't take those pills. After we left there, we went back home, and I stuck it out a few more days, and it's like one night I became really pale, like really pale. When somebody looks sick, their skin, and they just, I was just looking bad. And so my mom, it was probably like 12 o'clock, 11 or 12 o'clock that night. My mom was like, get up, let's go. We gotta figure out what's going on. So she took me, I went in my pajamas and everything. It got so bad I couldn't walk. It hurt to walk. Like, I basically had to be carried almost. But we went to another emergency room, which was it was probably about an hour and 30 minutes away, or something like that. We went to UNC Chapel Hill. I went to the Children's Hospital at the time because I was underage. I wasn't 18. But I went in there. I got my blood tested, and my blood count was low. I lost so much blood. I became anemic. My iron levels were low, and when I went in, I saw my doctor, Dr. AJ Galati. He immediately, I'm sorry, my mind just went blank. He immediately, he told me what was going on. He was like, if you don't have ulcerative colitis, you have Crohn's. It's one of those two. He's like, you're not going home. So he admitted me to a room, and he gave me my medicines, and come to find out, the next day I had a whole lot of tests ran on me, and that's what it was. I had ulcerative colitis. I had a colonoscopy done, and he took pictures of my colon. I wish I had those pictures to show you all. I don't live with my mom, and she wanted to keep those, but he took pictures of my colon, and you can see the ulcers, and it was bad. So he started me on steroids. I was on steroids and 5 different other medicines that I was taking 2 to 3 times a day. Like, I remember just nurses coming in at all times of the night, waking me up, drawing my blood, giving me medicine. I wasn't hungry, I didn't want food, but I was on an all liquid diet. I was taking laxatives because of my colonoscopy that I had to get done. I had got an MRI. I was seeing dietitians. I was seeing, the whole 9 yards. Everybody in the hospital probably came to my room and talked to me. But that was my first time in the hospital I stayed in the hospital probably a month and a half, roughly, somewhere like that. I finally went home. I was on a high fiber diet. I was on my steroids, all of my medicines, and I was doing pretty good. The steroids took away the inflammation, and other than my appetite getting out of control because of the steroids, I was doing really good. And I went back to school, and I gained so much weight. Of course I was on steroids, but it was bad, and I was so embarrassed, and I was so depressed, and I wasn't in a good place. I was sick, I was depressed, stressed. When you're sick, you're not supposed to worry about these type of things, and it just wasn't good, because I know that people were looking at me. I know that people could tell that something was wrong. I know that I was being talked about in school, even though I didn't hear it, but I know it. I would catch people staring because I look different. I didn't look like the Danielle that they knew before. So it was rumors going around saying that I had thyroid disease and, all types of crazy stuff. I was pregnant and all of that stuff. So, it takes a big toll on a high school teenager, a girl especially. So, eventually I got sick again. The steroids stopped working. The medicine stopped working. And I had another flare up. So I went right back to my doctor, AJ Galati, and he admitted me again. So this time he was like, he told me, I can't keep putting you on steroids. And so he took me off the steroids, and he scheduled my appointment for my surgery. And he told me that depending on how bad my colon was, I would either have to get a bag or a J pouch. Come to find out, my entire colon was inflamed. So everything had to go. So I had my surgery in October of 2011, and it went good. I remember waking up, and the first thing I asked was, do I have a pouch? Like, please don't let me have a pouch. I didn't have a pouch. I ended up getting the my J pouch, and so far, other than a few flare-ups every once in a while, it's doing good. Sometimes I guess for me not eating the right things, You know, certain things seem to trigger it. Like if I notice red meat don't really work too well with my stomach. Too much pizza sauce, spaghetti sauce, tomato, I guess from the acid. I can't eat steak. That is like a block. It's sitting in my stomach when I eat steak. So I stay away from steak, and I try to keep that high fiber diet thing going, you know, because it helps. You know, I find myself getting really bloated and gassy, and you know, I just can't eat everything that I could before. Popcorn doesn't do too well with me either. So I try to stick to vegetables, and my favorite food is potatoes, which I know is not the best, but it's not horrible. That doesn't really bother me. But I have a few flare ups, mostly when I'm stressed. I think that's what causes the majority of them. So you know, don't stress yourself out. Keep a positive mind and stay in a positive place, because it's nothing fun to deal with. Um, what else did I want to talk to you all about? Oh, I drink smoothies, green smoothies. That keeps me regular, you know. Um, I try to eat mostly chicken and turkey, stuff like that. I try to stay away from pork, even though I love pork. I love pork, sausage, all of that stuff. But I know I can't eat too much of it. Fried foods don't really do too well. I try to bake everything that I eat. I love eating out. I love chicken, fried chicken, all of that stuff. But you know, some things you have to limit yourself to. So that's what I do. I'm doing okay with it. And you know, I just want you all to know that even though you have ulcerative colitis, it's nothing wrong with you. You know, you're not weird. And just, you know, keep a positive mind. That's what it's all about. I was in and out the hospital for so long, months. My last time in the hospital, I was in the hospital for probably 2 months straight. I got a journal that I wrote in, and you know, it was a lot. But you know, I feel like it made me a stronger person, and it made my mom stronger, my family stronger, you know, and it does run in my family. Crohn's, UC, all of those run in my family. But I just wanted to share my story with you guys. I hope this helps somebody out. And, you know, feel free to leave comments and ask me questions about anything. That's all I can think of right now, but it's way more to it. Ask me questions about anything. Young girls, young guys. You know, I really want to help people who's suffering with that. So, yeah. Subscribe to me. And, you know, ask me questions and like my video. Peace out, guys.